Hi, and welcome to Real Life with Jenny. My name's Jenny Sendaparatna. Grab your favorite drink and a snack, and we will get started. Today I'm drinking pumpkin spice black tea. I know, kind of weird. It's the only thing that I like that's pumpkin spiced. And if you add a little bit of cream and sugar with it, it's a pretty good tea. And I was going to eat some popcorn, and then I realized we need that for caramel corn, which my daughter's selling for Mission, so I couldn't do that. And so I'm eating Smarties because it's really what I had. So let's get real. I have discovered that I am a ninja. Okay, maybe I'm not really a ninja, like in the truest sense. I'm not one of the people that you see on one of those ninja movies, which I've actually never watched. But I do love to wear all black. That is very enjoyable to me, and I do feel like I can walk in a room and walk out of a room without anybody noticing unless I laugh. And then people tend to know that I'm there. But you really can walk into a room and walk out and nobody knows. Now, I'm not stealthy like a ninja that can sneak into some place to rob them. I don't think ninjas rob. Maybe ninjas don't rob. Anyway, sneak in, sneak out. I have no battle skills. So if you're going to battle me, you're winning. I'm just going to, you put up your arms or your swords and I just go, okay, you win. I'm done. I don't have anything. So that way I'm not a ninja. But I think we're all a little ninja. I think we all have a little bit of a ninja in us. Because let's back it up for a minute. When was the last time that someone knew everything you were doing, right? You probably, if you're a mom, you are definitely a ninja because there are so many things that you do that nobody notices, that you keep things going and everything is moving along and nobody notices. You make a doctor's appointment and all you hear is grumbling and complaining that they have to go to the doctor. Not all the work that it took for you to get them in, right? They are grumbling and complaining about the vegetables that you have to eat for dinner, not all the hard work that you went into to get dinner on the table, not including picking up the groceries, taking out the groceries, making sure you're eating everything before it's expired, and then cleaning up afterwards. Ninjas, right? My mom is like the ultimate ninja. It was not until I left the home that I had any idea how much of a ninja she was. In fact, I was talking to her last week, and there was a lot of humble pie for me. Because now I have a teenage daughter who is very social and has a really, a lot of friends that she wants to go see and a lot of events, which is wonderful. But that means that I'm in the car a lot. And I'm never in the car to go see my friends. It's always an event for her, which I absolutely love. And I called my mom on the way to pick her up from one of these events. And I'm like, Mom, thank you. Thank you for all the times you drove me to the movies, or you drove me to this person's house, or you drove me to this church event or this school event. And I never said thank you. I might have been like, thanks, Mom. And then I ran out the door. But really never actually understood the sacrifice that she was making. I had a job for years that my former boss used to say, I want you to be invisible. We don't want anybody to know what kind of job you do, because my job was to make everybody else's job easy. That was the whole point of my job. Anything that could make someone else's life easy and they didn't know I did it, that was my job. And so I went years without a thank you, without any acknowledgement, without anybody saying, way to go, Jenny. It was only when something went wrong that anybody ever went, what is happening? This isn't working. And I'm like, yeah, I've been doing it right for 3 years, but now it's not. So we all have those things, right? We all have those things in our life that nobody notices until it goes wrong. Ninjas only get caught when they mess up, when they giggle. Okay, I don't think that ninjas actually giggle, but wouldn't that be funny? Anyway, okay, I'm just amusing myself. So in life, we spend a lot of time with nobody noticing our hard work. It is difficult a lot of times. In fact, a couple weeks ago, I went out and bought myself flowers. Not because my husband doesn't do it. It wasn't a bad thing on him, but it was Podcasters Day. And I was like, this is the first time that I've ever had a quote unquote day for something that I did. There's Mother's Day, which is great, but this is like a day that was special for me. It was really weird, but they never had a day for my job before. It was always like Secretary's Day, or now it's Administrative Assistant Day, Boss Day, Nurses Day, which is great. They all deserve a day. But I've never had a cool job that had a day. So I was really excited. And probably the only person in the entire world that was like, woohoo, it's my day. But we often have jobs and have things in our life that we do that nobody notices. And I'm going to tell you something that has been really tugging at my heart for a long time. And it's the reason I wrote The Unnamed Zookeeper, because Noah's wife, who was unnamed, went through everything Noah went through. She was at his side all the way through that whole process, and she never even gets named. Now, I'm sure she wasn't angry. I'm a little angry for her. Because she was never acknowledged. Her hard work was never acknowledged. And unfortunately in life, that's true. Unfortunately, I have not stopped and talked to the lady who picks up trash every time she walks in the neighborhood. I think she walks once a week. Maybe that's the only time I see her. And she has a little set of tongs and she picks up the trash. I've never stopped and said, "Hey, tong lady, thanks for picking up the trash around here. I just really appreciate you." Now, maybe I should do that. But then I also don't want to be creepy, so I'm not real sure. But I have noticed her and never said anything. And I want you to be encouraged that sometimes ninjas are not necessarily noticed, but they are. Maybe this is what I should say. They're not acknowledged, but they are noticed. The work that they've done is noticed, but it's not always acknowledged. And so whatever in your life, whether it's friendships, whether it's being a parent, whether it's your job, whether it's picking up around the neighborhood, whether it's what they call in the Twin Cities a drive-through difference, where you can go to a fast food restaurant and pay for the person behind you, you're maybe never acknowledged for those things, but people are noticing. And most of all, God is noticing. And that is a hard one for me, because I really want God to be like, "Way to go, Jenny." Like, you'd love to wake up and him be like, "Okay, here's what I saw you do yesterday. I'm really proud of you. Keep up the good work." Unfortunately, that's not how it works. That's not how life works. My husband and daughter are super grateful for things that I do, but very rarely I wake up and there's like a list of all the wonderful things that I did the day before. Okay, I've never had that happen. I know that my husband, he writes me beautiful letters of like, "Hey, I just really appreciate your hard work," and, that kind of stuff. But you really want God to acknowledge, like, on a daily basis. Did you see that I did not say mean words to that person at Walmart? Because that's normally where I'm about to lose my temper, is at Walmart. I do not know why I shop there, but I do. Lord, did you notice that? Like, I had some self-control. I tamed my tongue. I breathed a little bit heavier, but I was like, "Lord, I can't say anything mean. Just shake it off. Don't get angry." Did you see that, God? Like, that's what I want. I want acknowledgement. I want to be seen. And sometimes in life, we have to remember that it's getting to heaven and God saying, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant." And that is hard. That's a hard way to live your life. It is hard to be a ninja and not be seen, not be doing good things or accomplishing things and having no one see you. I want you to know that someone is seeing you. God is seeing you, and there are other people. When you do a drive-through difference in the Twin Cities area and you pay for the person behind you in a fast food line, not only do the people that you don't know acknowledge that, but the kids in your car see that. And one of the things that I value very, very much, and as a family we value very, very much, is generosity. And one thing about generosity is generosity does not come to us naturally. We are not born generous people. We don't want to share. Like, you get together with a bunch of toddlers and generosity is not something we are born with. Generations. Generosity is taught. It is a learned behavior. It is, you see someone else and you go, I want to be like that. It is taught. And that for you to be giving to someone else, whether it's selflessly or it's part of your job, people see that. And my daughter sees my generosity and she will duplicate it and hopefully do it better than I do, because I'm not really great at it. I really try. But that is really something that is taught. And ninjas teach generosity. That's what we do. We're teaching people to be generous with their time, generous with their attitudes, generous with your money, generous with so many things. And so I encourage all of us this week to embrace the ninja, to embrace that we're not going to be acknowledged, to embrace that we may not get a thank you card or some flowers or even some cookies. Like, we may not get that. But we do have to understand that people are watching us. When you are a person of character, people watch you. That is just what happens. People are watching you, maybe not necessarily to see the good things. Sometimes they're watching you to see if you're going to screw up, but people are watching. People are watching your attitude. They're watching how you're handling things, and you may not be acknowledged. You may not be set aside by your boss to say, hey, I just really appreciate that you let that roll off your back. I see that customer was really angry and you handled it really well. You may not get that acknowledgement, but you need to know they're watching you. And they see those things, and it will eventually pay off. I hope, even if it's in heaven, right? That's what I'm holding on to right now. So, ninjas, let's get together. Let's do this. Let's continue to make a difference in our world, one small thing at a time. Picking up the socks of your kids and throwing them in the laundry. Making those vegetables that nobody wants to eat, but eventually they will eat them when they become adults. I used to have to eat vegetables all the time as a kid, and I was like, these are so disgusting. Why do you waste the time on these? And now those vegetables are my favorites because they remind me of my childhood. How weird is that? Now, there's still some I do not like and will not be making. We don't need to go down that road. Ew, asparagus, not my favorite. I still can't do it. Sorry. But they do, eventually it does make a difference. Those small things that you're doing that no one else is noticing or no one else is acknowledging will make a difference. Well, you can find us at Real Life with Jenny on Instagram and on Facebook. You can also go to christconnection.cc/Jen. All of my information is on there. We're currently booking for Christmas events for women, whether it's a Christmas tea or a Christmas event. I'm super excited about the message God's laid on my heart for this Christmas, to be able to share with women about how God loves you throughout the busy, crazy season of Christmas. So you can check us out at christconnection.cc. You all get your black on, like let's put our black clothes on and let's go out and make a difference even though no one acknowledges us. Go ninjas.